Hey guys, Dr. J here. Today we're going to be talking about gout. I get these questions all the time. Is the meat you're consuming increasing your chance of gout? So first off, what is gout? Gout is a condition where you start to have uric acid deposits. It could be in your thumbs, it could be in your big toes, and it creates an arthritic pain. Now, the question is, where does uric acid come from? Well, the common assumption is, well, uric acid comes from purine-rich meats. What are purine-rich meats? These are meats that are high in adenosine, guanosine. These are like nitrogen-rich DNA pairs, and they're high in seafood. They're high in grass-fed meat, organ meats, lamb meat, dark turkey meat, right? So a lot of the richer, darker meats are going to be much higher in purine. I'll dive into that a little bit more. Before I do, smash that like button. I'd love to see your comments down below, and if you're enjoying it, give me a share. So most people that I see that come in with gouty issues, it's not because of the meat that they're consuming. So let me dive in. A typical medication that's used to, let's say, block uric acid production is allopurinol. It's also kexine, but allopurinol is a xanthine oxidase inhibitor. Now, if you look at one of the major, let's say, metabolic imbalances in the body that increases xanthine oxidase is high levels of insulin. When you're insulin resistant, you're going to actually increase the enzyme that makes more gout. So when we have high levels of insulin, number one, we're increasing that enzyme that makes more gout. You're not going to get insulin from purine-rich meats. Now, if you're consuming them a lot with alcohol and lots of processed carbs, especially fructose, high fructose corn syrup, then there's a chance that there could be a correlation there, and they could, let's say, be a force multiplier where, yeah, these things don't cause it, but when you eat these with a bunch of alcohol and processed high fructose, then there could be an issue there. But by themselves, let's say on a carnivore diet or carnivore template, we are not going to see that. So the old adage is, hey, eating these purine-rich foods, this is what's going to cause gout. Not necessarily. So first off, fructose is a big one that increases gout consumption. So when we take fructose and we metabolize it, we get uric acid downstream. And one of the things that uric acid does is it can also increase or inhibit endothelial nitric oxide synthase, which vasodilates. So not only does uric acid come from fructose, but it also can vasoconstrict. It decreases our vasodilator, so it causes more constriction. Also, citric acid, or I should say uric acid, has an impact. It impacts the carnitine palmitase enzyme 1. This is a very important enzyme that utilizes carnitine in the mitochondria, in the Krebs cycle, to utilize essentially fatty acids for fuel. So we dump off our mitochondria, carnitine comes in, it shuttles fatty acids to dump it in the mitochondria to burn it for fuel. And that carnitine palmitotransferase 1, CPT1, is the enzyme that also gets inhibited by uric acid. So not only do we have issues with gouty arthritic issues, we also have issues with energy. So if you have gout, you may also see energy problems. Now, let's go back to the old adage. Is it the purine-rich, nitrogen-based, adenosine, guanosine type of proteins that I told you? Organ meats, seafood, grass-fed beef, lamb, pork? Not necessarily. The bigger driver issue is going to be, do you have high levels of insulin? Are you insulin resistant? Is your insulin, your fasting insulin, greater than 15, greater than 10? There could be an insulin resistant issue going on there. What does that do? Number one, it's going to increase that xanthine oxidase enzyme to cause more production of uric acid. Number two, in the parts of the kidneys that get rid of uric acid, the proximal tubule of the kidney, you're going to reabsorb more of that uric acid. You're not going to flush it out when you have high levels of insulin. So you increase the recycling with high levels of insulin, and you also increase the enzyme that makes uric acid. That's the xanthine oxidase inhibitor. That's the same one you see in the medication allopurinol that knocks that down. And then also number two is we're missing the fructose. The fructose is going to be the bigger driving factor. So insulin resistance on the kidneys, insulin resistance on the enzymes that make uric acid. And number three is the uric acid is from the fructose is also going to aid in this whole production as well. So fructose, more than just carbohydrates or sucrose as a whole, fructose, that's a specific type of sugar, is going to increase chance of gout even more. So I hope to give you this information. There's a lot of people that are trying to eat more healthier proteins, more healthier fats, and a common thing I get is, hey, this is going to increase my chance of gout. Now, if you go into this diet and you already have a high level of insulin, there's this period that, you have a lot of insulin, so your reabsorption of uric acid is going to be higher. So you may want to look at being a little bit more higher protein, higher fat with lower purine-rich foods. That's a better option for you out of the gate as you transition. And as that insulin starts to come down, you should be able to consume those foods and not have that reabsorption and not have that increase in that xanthine oxidase enzyme. And then also just getting the alcohol and the sugar down is going to do a huge number in supporting your body's ability to heal, not have this excess fructose and excess uric acid that's driving a lot of this joint pain. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please let me know. If you have chronic uric acid or a joint issue, it could be from uric acid, it could be from oxalates, it could be from other autoimmune gut inflammation issues. There'll be a link down below where you can reach out and schedule with my staff and team. We see functional medicine patients worldwide. So if you want that support, it's there for you below. And if you enjoy, give me a thumbs up. Take care. Bye now.